We have a striker problem.
Yeah.
We have a striker problem in FPL. Obviously we've got Pedro who's disappeared, hence our outfits today. Vissa's injured. What's up with Isak? He's got a little symbol above him as well. What's going on with him? Any ideas?
Didn't he come off with a migraine or something? Blurred vision or something, apparently.
Oh, is it actually true? So I laughed. Okay.
My mum, when she gets a migraine, she goes in a dark room and she's fine after 5 minutes.
All right, okay.
Just sort it out, mate. Just sort it out, son.
Exactly.
I've got points on this.
Oh, so we have a problem because they are strikers that occupy a certain price bracket.
Yeah.
And it's quite tricky to replace it. It's all right to look at someone, I don't know, like Pedro, and go, we'll just bring in Ollie Watkins. There's a bit of a price difference here, right, we're talking about. So actually, it's really quite difficult. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to get some suggestions from you. And to be honest, the audience needs them, but I definitely need them, all right, because I have both Pedro and Wissa. So I need your help, guys.
On a wild card, if you didn't know.
On a wild card, yeah. I know. Oh, I know. The pain. Shut up. Shut up. It's not fair. It's the worst wild card I think I've ever played. And I did it to bring in Haaland. At least Haaland got 2 goals. That was about it. It's the only sort of
Did you captain him, Matt?
I did. I did captain him. I didn't captain Salah, so that was good. Thanks, mate. Scotty looked out for me. It's all good. So let's talk about who we're bringing in. All right. Because let's talk about it. Vissa's 6.1 million. Pedro is 5.7. They're occupying a similar price bracket. Who are the potentials to replace these players? Who do you think? What's your view on it, Scott?
Well, I was going to say Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He's off with an illness today, so he's another one off the list. I know we say to let's just do the show a day later when we've got more news. Thankfully, we did, because we would have put this out yesterday, and he's off. He's not even playing today. Another one for me. Not so much that I feel he's going to sit there and score, and I don't believe. He scored in the Premier League at his age, but Jamie Vardy. Like, he just had the price rise to 5.7 million. Like, is it 2016? What is going on? Where are we?
Wait, hold up. Leicester playing Everton next, though.
Bring him in. He's in.
Oh, my God.
Do you know what's going to happen? Villa are going to go 2-0 up.
Yeah.
Vardy's going to score an hat-trick. That's what's going to happen. Villa go 2-0 up. Oh, not Villa, sorry. Everton go 2-0 up. Leicester's going to win 3-2 with Vardy hat-trick.
The next 3 fixtures for Leicester are Everton, then Arsenal, but then Bournemouth. So, Vardy could, as jokes aside, could Vardy be a short-term option?
He's the only one playing. Like, he's the main striker at the minute, isn't he?
Yeah.
So even with his age, he's still rapid. He will take chances if they come his way.
Yeah.
It's just about if Leicester can create them. I think Leicester will be the one out of the 3 promoted teams that have the best chance of staying up.
Yeah.
I mean, there is another suggestion now with Wissa out. Is the excuse me if I pronounce his name wrong. I don't know if it's Skade or Shade, but I think he's listed as a £5.4 million midfielder on the game.
Yeah.
But there's now potential that he's going to play centre forward. I thought Mbeumo is the one that plays centre forward, but perhaps not. I mean, if it's a 1-game punt or a couple of games until you might possibly wildcard, why not? It depends on where your midfield spots are. If you've got a spare one there, it depends on what formation you're playing.
Do you know what annoys me most about this as well? Is that I had Carvalho, and I thought this might be his breakthrough season. He hasn't started. He dropped in price, got rid of him for Diaz. Diaz done hot nothing for the first time this season, really. And now it looks like, because of the injuries that Brentford have or the players they have available, that he might start playing games. Like, he got a goal and assist last night, didn't he, against Leighton Orient?
Yeah.
I know it's Leighton Orient, but it's still confidence, for a player. I mean, Rashford scored a couple last night. Even Anthony got in on the act. I mean, they gave him a symphony penalty, didn't they? So,
Quickly, Harrison's here to the rescue for help in pronouncing Sharda.
Oh,
Sharda.
FPL Agony becomes FPL transcript. I love it. It's amazing.
FPL
Look,
translate.
we can't pronounce players' names, so we need all the help we can get.
Yeah, exactly. It is quite funny. It's a feature, isn't it? Harrison mentions, and I was going to bring this up. Harrison in the chat says Welbeck. Now that for me is not bad as a direct swap. If you got Pedro, what do you make of that, Scott and Signore? Because Scott, you made a face, and Signore, you made a noise. So go on, you got thoughts.
I'll let Signore answer this one. Actually, it's this way, I think. No, this way.
No, other way.
Yeah. You got a backhand me.
I'm looking at Wissa. I'm
only saying that because I said the whole time you got to bring in Danny Welbeck instead of him, and I just didn't. I don't know what happened. I had a Mayor Cresswell moment again. It's just.
But we all did, didn't we? I mean, for the price point,
there was a hype train, and we all got on board. And then we ended up on a replacement bus service to Welbeck.
It broke down somewhere.
Brighton's next 3 fixtures are Forest, Chelsea, and Tottenham. So not great. There's a player you've been banging on about all week, Signore, from Villa.
Oh, Duran.
Duran. Go on, tell us about Duran.
Well, it seems like Watkins to be fine now. Like, he's 6 million, he's coming on and he's playing, like he's getting minutes and he's taking chances. I mean, his goal against Everton was outstanding. Do you know what I mean? No keeper's saving that. It's just an outstanding strike. And he seems to have that sort of like luck at the minute when he's making those runs and the ball's finding him. And if it would have been the case that Watkins would have been out for a few games, then I would have really had brought him in.
Villa's next 3 games: Wolves, Ipswich, and Man U. So actually, not bad
Goals.
at all.
Yeah.
You're looking at goals there. So I think so far, as an option, Duran is looking pretty good. I'm trying to keep it to players in the sort of 5.5 to 6.5 million bracket. I don't know how many other options we have.
Chris Wood?
Yeah, from Forest.
I mean, go on, sorry.
No, go on. Yeah, go for it.
I mean, I know you're talking about price point, but I've got an issue with Isak now. I kept him last week. And what did he play? 45 minutes, went off at half time. I don't know how bad the injury is or whatnot. I know we joked about it before, but I've actually got enough money in the bank to literally go Isak to Watkins, because there's a chance I'll wildcard in game week 6. And I'm thinking, because of price changes, Isak goes down, that move can't happen. Watkins goes back up to 9, that move can't happen. So there is a real consideration for me to see what price changes are like in the next day or 2 and go, you know what, make that move, lock it in, and then just see through the game week. Because either way, I know I'll be potentially wildcarding, so I can afford Watkins, well, hopefully. I just think with those 3 fixtures coming up, if he is fit, he will start, because he's now come back in. Did he get 2 goals the other day against Everton? Like, he's going to start again. And hopefully that was just a game to break his duck. And then he'll start to bring it out. I mean, it's just because, I've got Pedro, I've got Haaland, and now I've still got an Isak issue. I just think that could be the way forward for me.
It's quite a good move, and there's only 0.5 million between Isak and Watkins. So actually, that's a very much a doable move. And if you are in that position where you need to replace Isak, you definitely have more options in the forms of players like Havertz. You might want to save a bit of money looking at Mateta. Or if you're stuck, Danny Ings, surely.
Do you know what? In all fairness, though, I was so happy for him. At the end, he works hard. He does work hard, and I think a lot of the players like him. He's a good character.
I wasn't. He cost me a clean sheet.
Listen, we need all the points we can get at this stage of the season.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But at least we didn't lose 5-0 to Fulham at Craven Cottage this time round. Because last time we lost 5-0, so that was an improvement.
That was. Yeah, a player that I thought, and Harrison has also mentioned, I'm just going in that lower price tier, is Nketiah. Crystal Palace, 5.9 million. Seems to be starting, do we think? Palace's next 3 fixtures, though: Man United, Everton, okay, good shout, followed by Liverpool. So, could that be a reasonable short-term option for going for
How many of them
Nketiah?
are at home?
Man U at home, Everton away, Liverpool at home.
They do a lot better at home.
Yeah.
I like it.
And
I said this, I think, I don't know if I said this in a stream or we said it on the group chat, but I think he's a wait and see. And if he's still at 5.9, I don't think he's gone back up to 6. You're not going to spend £25 million, £30 million on a player and stick him on the bench. I think there'll be ways they try and play Mateta and Nketiah together, in my opinion. I think he's a quality player. I actually do. I'm a big fan of Nketiah. Every time he's come in for Arsenal, he's done a job. I'm not saying against the big clubs. I think he's been involved in the big games as well, and he's got important goals. He needs to go off and play, and I feel it's just at this stage of the season, are you willing and can you take a huge gamble? Because in my opinion, I'm one of those managers that can't take a gamble this early on. Because if you do, and it goes wrong, you are so behind in the pecking order. And that you're trying to close those gaps, and then that's when you panic and you take a -4 and you take a -8 and you wild card early.
Scott,
and then you're
I went from 29k to 130 something k in one game week.
It's ludicrous, isn't it?
So do you know what I mean? So I don't think it's a disaster if you're going to do like a move like that. It's just you've got to have a long-term feeling about it. It can't be a short-term feel if you're going to do something like that.
Yeah. I think for me this week is if I make a free transfer, I'm kind of locking myself into a wild card the next week or two. If I don't, then yeah, there you go.
Really?
So game week 6 wild card, like you haven't had it before.
Oh, that's massive. That's massive. Oh, you heard it here. That could be big.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we'll see.
We'll have to wait and see. Wow. That's a big one. Are there any before we go on to teams, because I do want to talk about teams, any other strikers that sort of cross your mind a little bit? You know, Rory Delap or anyone like that?
5.5 million. That cracks me up. 5.5 million. No, I think we've gone through them, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so. Unfortunately, I'm not in a position where I can bring in Ollie Watkins, which is really annoying. Even if I go cheap for one of my strikers, I still don't have enough to reach Ollie Watkins, unless I reduce a player elsewhere. So I've got a bit of filling.
Yeah.
I've got 3 free transfers. And I was going to try and save them up again, but imagine having to use 3 free transfers the week after a wild card. I laughed.
Yeah.
When they brought in these new rules, I kind of laughed. I thought it's going to make it easy. You know, wild cards don't use up free transfers, and you can get up to 5 free transfers. They're making it really easy. It's not been the case, is it?
No.
What wild times we live in. It's craziness.